France says it'll reduce the number of its troops across West and Central Africa. Around 600 soldiers are expected to remain. Last year, President Emmanuel Macron announced plans to reduce France's military presence in the continent. That's after some governments expelled French forces from their territories. Erwan de Cherisey is a principal at Janes, a global open-source intelligence company specialising in military, national security, aerospace and transport topics, and joins us now from Bordeaux in France. Mr. Cherisey, good to have you with us on the programme. I mean, we do await those official numbers of the reductions to be announced, but why is France doing this now, or has it been pushed?
Well, France has essentially been forced to withdraw from Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, and which has put an end pretty much to Operation Barkhane, which was the anti-terrorist effort in the Sahel region. And as it faces growing backlash against its presence in Africa, and also pressures to do more in terms of deployments in Eastern Europe to support the NATO forward presence in Romania or in the Baltic states, reducing military troop levels in a number of African countries is an expedient way to get these troops available for other assignments, while at the same time reducing the visibility of its presence and changing the model of its deployment from one where it maintained permanent detachments, some of which were operating on their own, to one where the focus will be on partnering with the militaries of the countries in which France will remain to work on capacity building, on training, and be much more in a supporting role than it is now.
Do you get a sense, though, from sort of the French policy here that we'll get out while the going is good so that we can keep our relationship with those African countries that want us to stay in some form, to be on a better footing as such? And as you say, it's one thing to have troop numbers that allow for active missions, and it's a different thing to be in an advisory capacity.
Yes, absolutely. So we don't have yet the full numbers, at least from an official source, but unofficially, there are talks of reducing significantly numbers in Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, and Gabon, as well as Chad, while Djibouti will remain untouched because of its significance also for operations throughout the Middle East. So the idea here is probably to reduce the visibility of the French presence, which is in line with the way there is increasing opposition to French military presence across many Western African countries. This is acknowledged by the French, and they are keen to find a way to remain without being as negatively perceived. And meanwhile, and this would be particularly relevant for Chad, where we've seen the Chadian government maintain overtures with Russia, probably the French are just wanting to be careful and preempt the situation they encountered in other countries, notably Burkina Faso or Niger, where they were forced to leave, not under their own timing. And that meant also having to leave some infrastructure and equipment that is valuable without being able to retrieve it. So essentially having to destroy it in situ rather than being able to remove it and retrieve it. So it's probably also about being able to leave on your own timing, controlling the timing of the reduction rather than having events decide for you.
Indeed. It'll be interesting to see how they do withdraw and in what numbers. For the moment, Erwan de Cherisey, thank you for joining us from Bordeaux.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.